folks, this is the last one. And then I was like, wait a minute, we don't have to be out of here until this weekend. And there's like a million, well, not a million people on here, but there's, a controlled amount of people here on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
What a great way to promote the studio. So let's just live stream like right on the freaking boardwalk. So here we are. And I got my dear friend Al over here who has an amazing story. She just returned from serving in the Peace Corps, got cut off a little prematurely because of the coronavirus. And then, as you do on the boardwalk, you see friends walk by. So, will you introduce your friend here?
This is my friend Fraser. Fraser and I met in right, Fraser.
Yes, Fraser. Yeah.
Fraser and I met in a bar called the Globe.
Yeah,
in
Red Bank, New Jersey is right around the corner
Bank.
from the Stash.
I used to live there. I'm
Yeah.
from there, but a lot of cool people are from there. He's originally from an island called Gurney, and we bonded because he's from the UK, and I lived in London for 5 years in high school.
Yeah,
I still follow him on Instagram, and I was like, I know you, so he came and sat down.
that's amazing. So they're doing a thing where you can do to-go cocktails, which I wish they would do like forever. And I don't even know what the rules are, but if we wind up with one, hopefully we don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
but
this is illegal, by the way.
it's in
If
this.
your chair was like 4 feet
Is
backwards,
it- yeah, I
you'd be
think we would be okay. So
so-
if you see 5-0, just go cross the threshold here.
Yeah,
I
just,
think
like,
we'll be
walk
okay.
into
Over here at Shared Universe
Yeah,
Podcast
yeah,
Studio.
yes.
So the Globe, I love the Globe. I've been there a couple times. Would you call that like Red Bank's dive bar? I
Yes.
guess. The Globe.
The only one that's divier is the one that's right next to the train station.
The Wall Street pub,
The Wall
yeah.
Street,
Yeah,
which I
for
worked
sure.
at for a moment.
Yeah. Is that why you?
It was great. I liked it there.
half-price wings on Thursdays.
The Wall Street was a cool place. Did they do that? I didn't. Yeah, they did something really awesome.
When I first came to visit the US, they did a half-price.
This might work better.
So Red Bank is actually a really cool. It's sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead. They used to do half-price wings.
Yeah, the Wall Street, they have it. When I first came to visit the US in 2014, I was taken to the Wall Street pub for the half-price wings because everybody I was hanging out with were all about the discounts.
I had a group going when I lived in Red Bank. It was called Rad Bank, and we put together a list of all the deals of happy hours that happen in Red Bank, so that we could always go out but not spend a ton of money. I think maybe you were part of that collective, Rad Bank.
Definitely not. I
Or
wasn't part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you go there? Were you at the Globe a lot? I don't know. I go there maybe once a summer, maybe.
So I used to. I lived in Little Silver, and most of my friends
Yeah, it's
were
the next town over.
were around the local areas like Middletown, Atlantic Highlands,
Yeah.
Asbury, Ocean, Deal, and I would insist on hanging out near my house in Little Silver, which was near Red Bank.
Murphy's.
Which makes sense because at the end of the night you don't have to go that far to get home.
And I wasn't the one drink driving. All my
Okay,
friends
right.
were.
Yes.
So I was hanging out in Red Bank, and I would go to what's it called? The Globe again. It's the dive bar, and every night I went there is obviously a dive bar,
Sure.
and I was the most drunk, but because I'm British, I was at least showing it.
Yes.
And the
The
all
Brits
the-
can drink.
yeah. Well, compared to America, they think having 2 wines or 2
Oh,
beers
yeah,
for
yeah.
lunch is a big deal.
Right.
I used
It's
to
not
think-
that big a deal.
I used
Trust
to
me.
think of it this way, right? So the Americans are like the high school kids. No, we're like the college kids. The UK are like the adults, and then the Australians are like the high school kids. So the level of drinking, they can just rage all night. The Aussies,
Well,
the Brits are more like college kids, where they're like, we control it, but we're like, and then, or maybe it's the other way.
You know,
around.
I used to
can't
think
remember.
of myself as not xenophobic, but to be fair, I don't really like anyone from Australia or Yorkshire, to be quite honest. I'm not racist, but
xenophobic
I don't.
mean?
I'm not
means,
terribly fond of Australians because their accent is kind of like it's kind of weird. I don't really. They sound dumb, to be fair, because back in 250 years ago, the British sent their prisoners to live in Australia, and so the Australians who then killed the Aborigines ended up being the white Australians who are descendants of those
Little known fact, kids. Are you listening?
I'm sure you can't put this on YouTube because it's
not?
racist
Is it?
against Australians.
Is it?
But New
There's
Zealand
a
is very
history
nice.
lesson.
New Zealand is a beautiful country. There's more sheep in New Zealand than people, which explains why there's so much sheep raping in New Zealand.
Is this a fact? All I know
Yeah.
about New Zealand is that's
No,
where the hobbits
I,
live.
I knew a guy, and he
Is that where the hobbits
he
live?
didn't have a girlfriend, but he had
This is
a
awesome.
he had a sheep friend,
Right.
and he raped a sheep. But that's yeah,
right,
it's what he did.
Yeah,
That's
Fraser,
all right.
how much have you drank today? How much have you had to drink today?
We need your mic back.
I bought a margarita cocktail from Tallulah's.
Right. What time was that? It's currently
5 p.m.
8:17.
6 p.m.
8:17 p.m. Eastern time right now.
Before that, I had 3 beers at my own apartment,
Okay, that's 4. All right.
and before that, I had a bottle of prosecco at my apartment.
Bottle. So let's say 7. Okay.
And
say 6, we'll be
and
conservative.
after that, including everything I said since, I've had a little bit sip of margarita.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad then. Not bad. So we were talking. You used to go to the Globe. People used to pick fights with you all the time.
Yeah, so I went to the Globe, and every time I went, my gay friend,
Okay.
they used to pick fights with me. But the minute my dad came to visit, and he's from the UK,
Right.
and he's from Glasgow in Scotland.
Been to
And
Glasgow.
he came to visit me, and we had like a bunch of like, margaritas and tequilas
Yes.
at the downtown.
Right.
And then we went to the Globe, and then I said to him, be careful. When you walk into the Globe,
Okay.
there's some dodgy people, right?
Dodgy.
So we walked in there.
Mad
Because he's
dodgy.
from Scotland, he makes friends with everyone.
Oh, sure.
It's something about the Scottish and especially the Glaswegian accent makes you like the best friend of everyone.
So
you know?
he was like the mayor of the Globe.
Exactly, the mayor
Yeah.
is the perfect word for that.
Sure.
He knew everyone. He knew their names. He knows he knows where they're from, even though like he doesn't know the area. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm your mate," and he buys them drinks because he's like a big baller. You know what I mean? He's like a what's that word for the Italian American who's like a Guido, right?
Guido. Okay.
He's like a Guido, but like a mafia Guido who's like buying drinks for everyone,
From
saying like you're
Scotland.
part
Oh,
of
I
the
think-
family,
right.
that kind of thing. Glasgow is the same thing. My dad left school when he was 14 years old, and he joined the Merchant Navy because there wasn't a war. If there's a war, he would have joined the Navy, but
Sure.
he joined the Merchant Navy.
Okay.
And he traveled the world, and then he became like
It's like Across the Universe, where the main character was in the. Anyways.
yeah, he got like tattoos, and he got like a whole bunch of diseases that
Yeah.
didn't like
Marines are cool.
come true until he was older.
Lived.
Oh,
He lived.
he
Okay.
lived. Yeah, it's lucky that the disease he got when he was in the Merchant Navy didn't come true to when I was born, and then
What diseases is that?
well, hepatitis.
Oh.
Yeah. Hepatitis, is it A or C, which is the more?
I don't
think
know.
it- I
We'll
think
ask
it's
our
A.
audience.
I
then.
think
If
it's Hepe,
If
yeah.
anybody out there knows which one is more.
Well, there's a
Which one
very
is worse?
there's a very
Your
new
story or
treatment
tell
for
us a
Hepe.
story?
I think it's like 2011 or something. There's a new treatment for Hepe, and he was one of the first testees of that Hepe treatment, and he was treated, and he lost a lot of weight while on treatment, and he gained it back through drinking and eating a lot of biscuits and cheese and stuff. So he's all good now, and he's still alive, thank God.
And well, thank God he's alive. He had you to pass all that strength on
Oh,
to.
I was born way before he had that, so
Oh, right, okay.
that's fine.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you didn't get killed at the Globe Hotel
So am I. So am I.
bar
I'm
in
glad.
Red Bank, New
I
Jersey.
could have got killed many times.
Yeah,
Even
and-
before I was at the Globe,
Sure.
because
And-
I lived in Bangladesh. I lived in the worst letter of all the letters is B, because I
What?
lived in Belfast, Bangladesh, and what was the other B?
Borneo.
Bombay.
You were-
There's
Before you go, I know
the
you
three
got to run.
Bs of religious
But
extremism.
how did you wind up in Bangladesh?
Oh, I knew a guy. I knew a lady actually. I knew a guy. He was my teacher at school, and he was from Calcutta.
Okay.
And he was born in Calcutta, but he was born in Calcutta back in the 1940s. And in the 1940s, Calcutta wasn't Calcutta.
Okay.
Calcutta was a province. India didn't exist. And he was Hindu. And no, he was Muslim, sorry. And most of India was Hindu before India was India. And to escape, because the Hindus were attacking the Muslims in India, his family happened to be friends with the same family as Gandhi.
Okay.
So Gandhi sent a vehicle for his family to escape Calcutta and escape to what is now Bangladesh, but at the time was Dhaka. And he moved from Calcutta to Dhaka, and his dad became a president of Dhaka University in Bangladesh, which at the time, after the uprising, was East Pakistan. And then there was a war. There was a war, which is the only war in history which was based upon language, between being Urdu or Bangladeshi. And in 1971, I believe, Bangladesh had a war between East Pakistan or Pakistan and that East Bengal or West Bengal, East Bengal. And Bangladesh became into existence in 1991, 1992. And
wow, you know a lot about the history of Bangladesh.
yeah, I went there in 2013
Yeah.
on the invitation of my friend.
Okay.
He happened to be my teacher in school, and he was in an arranged marriage with a lady, and the lady happened to be a Bollywood actress at the time, and she happened to be the secretary to my fencing club, and I was a fencer, so I met her, I met him, and she knew the general secretary to the fencing academy, who was also a major in the army, and he invited me to go and live in Bangladesh for a while.
With the high and mighty, huh?
Yeah, no, I climbed the slippery slope. I pulled myself up the slippery pole, and I hobnobbed with the Grand Vizier for a while, and was the fencing coach for Bangladesh for 4 months.
Really? The nation of Bangladesh.
Yes.
Wow.
It was the
awesome.
the army, the navy, the air force, the border guards, and the village defense force, because they have quite the rivalry with the Myanmar. Used to be
Fencing team? The Myanmar fencing?
no, with the Myanmar people, they would
Okay.
literally throw grenades at each other across the border and kill each other all the time. So it's very much the Hindus and the Buddhists which are attacking the Muslims, and the
Okay.
Muslims reply against the Hindus and the Buddhists. And there's a lot of fighting amongst religious people, which I think Americans never know about.
Right. I don't think they talk about that too much.
They
here.
don't.
So, but you made it back, and here you are, having
And
an
I
amazing
survived,
day,
yeah.
despite everything going on. Right on, man. Thank you. And it's still early, so drink up, my friends. Drink
Okay,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Fraser, thank you very much.
More than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I guarantee you this won't be the last time we see one of our friends passing by us here. But I have a sign here. I just don't know how to work it. It's one of those bar signs with the paint pens.
Here,
And I don't
dude?
know. Yeah, I don't know how to change. I wanted to write, tell us a story on it, and I haven't. No, it's in there. It's in there. It's from. I borrowed it from the Langosta Lounge, the Asbury Park Yacht Club down the street. I don't have any paint pens. I don't even know how to take that off. Do you? Does anybody out there, maybe you work in a bar or something? Here, put up the sign, because right now it says coconut rum, all this stuff we don't have, and pineapple, citrus, rum.
No.
And it's like this weird paint pen. I don't know how to get it off. I heard you had to spray with oven cleaner, and then get a paint pen on there. We have none of this, by the way. We have no beer. We have no coconut. But yeah, maybe they would know how to do it. I have no. But if anybody out there works in the industry, can
You want me to go make a move?
I mean,
Can one of you guys can you look for pens for us? Go
Cheers.
gadget pens.
cheers. I will figure it out by tomorrow because I'm definitely setting up here tomorrow. We'll have a big sign that
You want me to go what?
it just says tell us a
tomorrow.
story. What's that?
Pride.
Pride. Oh, is it Pride? Is the
Would
parade
have been
tomorrow?
Asbury Pride.
Is it tomorrow?
It would have been.
Oh, would have been tomorrow. Okay. Wow.
That's why we're here.
All right, right on.
Promote queer things.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, take a sticker.
The globe isn't the best place for queer things.
That's for sure.
yeah.
I'm the gay friend who's talking about that story.
So, I have some funny globe stories, but I don't think they can be shared on a podcast.
Why?
I don't, because
What are you afraid of?
future bosses.
Oh my God, really?
I saw.
Can you talk about them vaguely as if like they didn't happen to you?
Or let's talk about something that happened to my friend at the globe.
Okay, absolutely. Go.
I saw Kevin. What's his face?
Smith.
I saw Kevin Smith
Yes.
at the downtown.
What was Kevin doing at the down? Oh, he was
That
probably
was
eating.
after his like
Let me go get
heart
pens.
attack or something.
I'll be back.
Right.
And he looked very well. Very
Yes,
slim,
he's lost a lot of weight. He looks
But
amazing.
it
He's been
was
hiking.
2 weeks before the premiere of the Jay and Silent
The
Bob
reboot movie. Yes, did you
the
go
reboot
see it?
movie. Yeah, I started watching it. I fell asleep. I was very drunk when I started watching it.
Oh man.
I don't smoke
Start-
marijuana,
started ag-
which is why I watched it when I was drunk.
Start it again and then kind of. Well, I mean, watch it, but watch until I don't know, about maybe 75 minutes in. You might see some familiar faces.
I hear Jason Biggs is in it. And
Jason
that
Biggs
other
is in
guy
it?
From the other show. I don't-
James
I'm not
Vanderbeek
American, I don't really know.
is
Yeah,
in
that
it.
guy.
Yeah.
Vanderbeek.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Yeah. And it's yeah. What I next time go in about 75 minutes in. You
It's
might.
on Amazon Prime. or
It is
was.
on. Yeah. You might see a familiar face, but 75, maybe 80 minutes in. But maybe around where
It's a long
Vanderbeek
way
and.
to wait until-
No, just fast forwarded to that part until they go to the Chronicon part, and then you may see some familiar faces. That's all I'm saying. So
It'd be better off watching something like I watched The Mandalorian recently.
yeah, Mandalorian's great.
Good.
It is very good.
I'm so surprised there's only one season of it.
Well, their work season 2 is coming out. They released a date. I forgot what it was. Somebody out there chime in.
That's no good.
Yeah.
I watched
It's-
I just moved into an apartment. It came with 1 year free of Disney Plus.
Yes.
So I watched the first season.
Yeah.
I said to my friends, "Is there another season?" They said,
They're working
"Not
on it.
yet."
They're working
and I
on
said,
it.
"Well, that's no good."
Yeah. So, are we ordering food too? Are you hungry?
Well, no, this is the.
I
beer.
wanted to do a thing on this stream where I go up and down the boardwalk because I can pack myself in, and I buy something from each place in support. So,
You're in Jay and Silent Bob?
yes, I am.
You're in the movie?
I am in the reboot movie. Yes.
I used to live in Red Bank.
Yeah.
I went there all the time.
Yeah. We were in there. We shot a TV show in there. I don't know if you were in
Oh,
Bangladesh.
clever man.
I think you were in Bangladesh that year, for some of those years. But yeah. Yeah. So my advice: keep watching the reboot movie.
My parents came to visit me. Right?
Yes.
My
Grab the mic,
parents
grab the
called
mic.
Alex.
Grab the mic. Let's hear this.
My parents came to visit me, right?
Okay.
And they called Alex and Jackie Ward. And
All
I
right,
was
shout out to the Wards.
I was working. I was fencing coaching at the time,
Right.
and they were walking around Red Bank waiting for me to finish so we can get a meal afterwards, right? They walked by the Jay and Silent Book stash.
Yeah, the stash, right.
Because my brother is a comic book freak, and he would have loved it.
Yeah.
So they try and walk in, but they're stopped. And they said, who stopped them, you can't come in here, but if you'd like to be an extra in the movie,
Or the TV show.
let us
yeah.
know. Or
Yeah,
the TV
yeah,
show,
yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
And my dad said, yeah, count us in. And my mum said, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
Well, that's my American impression.
Yeah.
What she actually said was, I'm terribly sorry. I don't think that's a terribly good idea to include my face in whatever was happening.
She should have done it. She missed
And-
out.
My dad wanted to go in the store so much they could film him like walking around.
He would have had a
But-
great time.
He would have stood out so much because he would be looking at the camera like, huh? Me? What?
Wow.
How?
Wow. What's
When?
this? What's this?
Eh?
What's this? It's a comic book.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Comics.
it never happened, but I really wish it did. But that's the main drawing point of bringing my
Did
family.
it work? Oh my God, it worked. So it says, tell us. Wait,
Is that okay?
is that an A?
Yeah.
What kind of A is that? It looks like a weird.
Yeah, it's a name.
All right.
That's a name.
Sorry.
All right, stick it out here. Let's see if anybody bites. We'll
Go
see if we
behind
get it.
you.
Yeah, just literally throw it. We have So
You
our.
want the shared universe to show. You don't like.
You should.
that?
Can you draw the logo on there?
No, you haven't.
I know it's on the tablecloth. I know it's on the tablecloth. Can you like draw it?
So this is just like tell you a story.
Tell a story. Yeah, just tell a story.
I can tell you a story.
All right. Yeah, you got a story?
I got a story.
Yeah.
So I was living in Bangladesh, and in Bangladesh,
Yes.
alcohol is illegal.
Okay.
you get arrested for drinking alcohol.
Okay, so how did you live?
So I went to Bangladesh and I was living in the Olympic accommodation.
Okay.
And it was full of cockroaches and geckos and whatnot. And my friend told me, who was training with me at the time, he was a Bangladeshi fencer. He said, I can get you alcohol.
Okay.
I said, oh, yeah, I hear it's illegal here. He said, yes, it's illegal because we're Muslim.
Okay.
I said, oh, yeah, but you can get there for me.
Right.
Yeah. He said, I have a friend. He works in the field.
Okay.
And he can get you some rice wine.
Rice wine.
Rice wine.
Okay.
Which is very popular in Bangladesh and China and whatnot.
Right.
Homemade wine. So I said, bring me some rice wine. And
Rice wine.
I'll keep it safe in the refrigerator I was given.
Okay.
So he said, sure. So 1 week passes,
No rice wine.
no rice wine. 2 week passes, no rice wine. I said, I found the chap and I said, where is my rice wine? And he said, oh, the guy that was bringing the rice wine got arrested.
For bringing rice wine.
I said, I'm so sorry. He said, yes, he got arrested for carrying alcohol and he went to jail. I said, I'm terribly sorry. Let me know what it will take to get him out. He said, oh, he's already out. He paid bail. I said, well, let me know what it cost. I will pay it. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. He's already out. And it cost like $2.60, so, because Bangladeshi, exchange. And I said, well, I'm sorry to put him through that. Let me pay him back the $2.60. He said, don't worry about that. He's already on his way back with the next bottle. I said, very good.
So he didn't learn his lesson.
And I said, could the same guy, same chap, get me 1 pound of weed? And he said, sure. And I said, and how much would that cost? And he said, well, it's about $1.60 per eighth. And I said, I think I can afford that. So I paid him the money, and he bought a pound of weed for my birthday.
Check. Here, take that. Take that one instead. Give me that one.
That's pretty awesome.
So you didn't get rice wine, we got weed.
I didn't get rice wine, but I got a pound of weed, and I smoked it. And actually, to be fair, I never smoked weed in my life, except for being in Amsterdam.
You want one?
I'll get whatever you get. Yes.
But it's the first time in Bangladesh I made a homemade, what's it called? When you, I had a 2-liter Sprite bottle.
Sure.
And I had like a little bit left
Okay.
of just like water.
Right.
And I made a hole in the side. And then we filled weed in the top, and we made a homemade, what's it called?
Kool-Aid? I don't know. What do you...
Tom,
What do you-
what's it called when you make a bottle with weed in it, but like a little bit of water in the bottle? A bong. I made a homemade bong.
bong, okay.
It's the first time I ever made one, and I made it pretty well actually. And people could suck it in, like all the smoke and stuff into their lungs and get really high. And I'm not really into weed; it's not my thing. But all my friends in Bangladesh were like super excited about it, so they got
Okay.
really high. And as soon as they got really high, I kicked them out of my place because they were like so stoked.
Sure.
And I thought to myself, well, I'll play what's appropriate for my 25th birthday, which is The Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd.
Sure. That
But I
sounds
accidentally
great.
put on this wrong album. I put on a random Led Zeppelin album by accident, like
Okay,
Led
not
Zeppelin
the-
2
not
or
the-
something.
not
like
the same.
Like Led Zeppelin, good,
But still good.
good for you.
Led Zeppelin 2
but
is a-
it's not my thing. I
Sure.
actually don't really like Led Zeppelin. I
You're
really like
insane.
Pink
Get out,
Floyd.
get
and
out, get out.
Yeah, exactly. I would prefer Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, or Animals over any other album in the world, and I forgot to put it on. So I woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning, late for training because I was training their fencing team.
Yes.
Listening to Pink Floyd, listening to Led Zeppelin as opposed to Pink Floyd or Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, or Pink Floyd Animals.
Right. All right.
The worst moment of my life.
Wow. If that was your worst moment, you live a pretty good life. Then, my
Exactly,
friend.
yeah.
you live a
I
good life.
really enjoy my white privilege.
Yeah. Well, where are you off to tonight? Where are you off to right now after you leave this
my
podcast?
apartment.
All right, right on. For more alcohol, more stories, And make sure you have that Pink Floyd album queued up.
Well, I can tell more stories, but nobody will be there to listen to them.
yeah.
Animals.
We got a whole
Animals is so
That's a
good.
good one.
Audience
Dogs,
here.
sheep.
So Al just went to go get some drinks. What did you? What you guys? Are they delivering it over here? Is that why?
I told her to just flag me down.
Okay.
Is this too much?
I ordered us Bloody Marys because,
Wow, it's a little late for that, isn't it?
well, I
It's
feel
like it's literally 8:37 p.m.
I feel like I'm just waking up from a 3-month hangover,
Yeah.
so it's time for a Bloody Mary.
You know what? It's never a bad time for Bloody Marys. It's never a time for Bloody Marys.
What is what?
Nobody wants to tell stories.
No, yeah,
You guys don't want to tell stories.
that's cool.
Because I think it's interesting because I'm from the
You are
UK.
not censored.
I'm come from the UK.
Yeah, you
and
say whatever you want here.
I'm
It's
not
great.
I'm from the UK,
This is
and these
why
are
we
my
do it.
friends
My
from
globe
America,
story
why we
is
do it.
and they must have a very
And,
interesting perspective
so
on me,
good,
right?
Ming. Should I tell it?
Your story?
My globe story.
I want to hear your globe story. Yeah, for sure.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Talk about how you guys met.
Yeah.
I used to be a waitress
Okay.
in Red Bank. I was also a bartender in Red Bank.
Okay.
But I worked as a waitress at a place called Gaetano's, which then turned into Napoli.
Oh yeah, I remember I stopped by one time for lunch
Yeah.
when I found out you were working there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we would go out for drinks at the Globe all the time, and after our shift, whatever, we would go have drinks as a crew. And the crew was always changing, but I was there long enough that there was, I was a staple for a
Sure.
while. So, anyways, we had we had a really great Mother's Day. There was like 500 people.
So where you make the bucks, right?
It was
make
like
some good
from
bucks then.
10 a.m. to like 10 p.m. we were booked. I had like 50 people at a time that I was taking care of, and so did everybody else on the team. But I was struggling because my mom was out of the state, and I was like kind of upset. And this one kid, Johnny, was also struggling. I don't know why. Johnny Mack, if he's online, he's a local as well.
Johnny Mac.
Yeah, you know Johnny Mack.
Who doesn't know
we
Johnny
all know
Mack?
Johnny Mack. So we.
Shout out to Johnny Mack.
Yeah, exactly. So Johnny Mack was like kind of a stereotypical Guido, like kind of jerky guy. But everyone loves Johnny, all right? Okay, get it. But he was having an off day during Mother's Day, and I looked over to him and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, "Nothing." And I'm like, "Dude, like get your shit together. Like it's Mother's Day, we got to be on."
Did
point.
you
We
cry
gotta-
when you were like slapping him and was like,
Kinda.
"Get it together"?
So what I said to him, all right, here's the story.
Okay.
Mom, I apologize. I hope my aunts and uncles aren't watching this. But I knew what would make him smile because I know his sense of humor is like twisted.
Okay.
So I'm like, Johnny, fuck your mom. And he cracked up, right?
That broke him.
Dude, he just cracked up. So
That
the
broke
whole
him?
day, every time I saw him, I'm like, you know what I want to tell you, like the whole, like, fuck your mom. And so he'd crack up. So we get to
That set him straight.
yeah, he
Is
was
it that
cracking up.
simple?
Who
Like if I
knows?
said
Like-
that to Mike Zapsik, do you think that would like make him work
All right,
better?
so this story
would that
gets
make him
better.
like perform better?
Because maybe, but here's the thing, right? So at the end of the night, we all came out with like good money for working at a restaurant.
Mother's
in-
Day is an extremely
in Red
great day
Bank.
for the industry.
We
yes.
don't have a liquor license, so we did really good for not having
Okay.
a liquor license.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And we get to the end of the night, we go to the Globe, and I'm excited, I'm celebrating, we're all getting drunk. I turn my music on my, on the app for
Right.
the jukebox.
Yes.
And the bartender shuts the music off and goes, "Everybody get out." And I go, "But I still had music. Like
Yeah. I
and I'm drunk,
I put my song into the touchtunes machine. You can't cut me off.
And he's like, "I don't care, everybody go home." And I'm in that mindset of like, what was the funny thing that I said to Johnny today to make him laugh? So I said to the bartender, drunk, "Fuck your mom."
Right, you yell it like as
On
loud as you
Mother's
can.
Day,
Yes.
and he's like, "Get the hell out of here!" Jumping down my throat.
You
calls
tell
the
you
cops.
tell a
Johnny
straight person,
Mack has
fuck
a-
your mom,
Right.
and
Oh my
All
God.
hell
They'll go
breaks
off.
loose, right?
They'll go
Oh,
off.
it's World
Yeah.
War III then.
you
yeah.
tell a straight person, fuck your mom.
Right.
I'm so
not
sorry,
good.
Mom. I love you.
Yep.
I'm sorry if you're watching this. But no, it was like, I knew that John would find it funny, and then I got drunk, and I thought that the bartender might find it funny, and I got kicked out of the
Yeah.
Globe for like a month.
You would think the
least
bartenders
a
at the
month.
Globe Hotel in Red Bank, New Jersey would have more of a sense of humor,
No, apparently not that.
but
sense of
not
humor.
at last call on Mother's Day, where he was probably running ragged as well, I
Who's
imagine.
going to Mother's Day at the Globe, though? Come on.
Like cool moms.
No.
Cool mothers are.
No.
May I? Mother's Day
Yes,
is
Fraser.
different day
Okay.
in the UK than it is in the US.
How so? What's the differences?
It's literally in the US. It's what in May or June or something.
Typically in May, yes.
Okay, so in the UK, it's in like March or something. So
Okay.
it's literally a different day.
Right.
So
I know.
I
'cause used
called.
to get slammed with it twice. It'd be
I-
like, it's Mother's Day. And then it'd
Yeah.
be like, it's Mother's Day. And I'd be like, wait a second. Which one are we following? The American one or the British
No,
one?
true,
Like,
true. So literally, I'm calling my both mum and thankfully my grandma 2 times a year to say Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, that's good, I think.
And I called them this March because it's Mother's Day in the UK at the time. And I was saying Happy Mother's Day. And for the last year, and I'm not kidding, 1 year, because my grandma, she went through like having a stent put in her heart.
That's heavy.
She went through, she actually booked a flight to the US to visit me, but I don't think she will anymore because she had a stent put in and she's anxious and then COVID hit and all that kind of thing. So I was wishing her Happy Mother's Day. And then she was saying like, oh, I'm so sad, I'll never visit. I might not see you again unless you visit the UK, which, to be honest, I don't really need to unless it's to visit her. So she was very sad and depressed, and like it went on for like a month. She was very down, and it was hard to like see any light. And I called her one day, and she said, "I'm having kind of a bad day." And I said, "Nana, you've been having like a bad day for the last month." And she said, "Yeah, it's been tough." And I said, "If you want, I know a guy who doesn't live too far from you. If you call me next week
Okay,
and you still feel bad,
right.
I could have him come over and he could kill you in your sleep." And she cackled with laughter.
So
She
That's-
enjoyed
that-
it so much.
I'm
the
finding-
idea of somebody killing her in her sleep. It lifted her.
so
And I swear to
went
God, she's still alive today because
Oh, hey,
of that
special
thought.
delivery, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
That's
Thank
for
you.
you. Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Cheers,
So
everybody.
I feel like the British sense of humor is very different than the American sense of humor.
Is
I-
dry
It
and
is
dark.
so different.
Yeah,
And I went
yeah.
to high school in the UK at an all-girls British school. The first, by the way, Queen's College is the first all-girls British school in
Yes,
the
it
UK.
is, yeah.
And it's a really cool school. And I got to go there in the center of London. And they really value like
Cheers, everyone.
pumping out like type A, kick-ass feminist leaders. And I learned I was socialized Brit, right? I was born and raised here, born in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Yes.
But I socialized as a Brit, hence the cigarette in my hand constantly. And the sense of humor about death and like, like I'll have someone kill your grandmother. Like that's funny in the UK. You could say that at a bar.
Yeah, you don't-
nobody's
you
gonna-
can't say that
You can't
here.
say that here. People will be like, why are you talking about my nana like that?
You can't say that here. People get pissed off.
Yeah, what's that all about? I don't understand.
I don't know. But,
Why?
different. That's just the
Different
differences between. These are all the
Culture,
differences.
culture.
These are the differences that make us all great.
If you watch like Downton
Yeah,
Abbey,
sure.
It's all the.
You're right.
what's her name? The old lady.
Someone throw it out. I don't watch Downton Abbey. It's in
Yeah,
the queue
she-
though. It's in the queue.
She has the tone of every British person in the world. It's completely dry. When I moved to the US in 2015, I made a lot of friends who are like born here, and they are very like they say everything like they just fill the air with noise and words, whereas I am very selective with what I say,
Sure.
and that is pretty much the difference in how we act.
Was it composure?
It's not just composure, because it's not like I'm more intelligent or less intelligent. It's just like, what I say is very brief compared to what they say, which might come off as boring, but I think it
We're
comes
not
off
going-
as
We're,
very composed.
we're not going tit for tat.
All right, right on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, Elle, thank you very much for this.
Yeah, cheers. Here's to the hangover.
Yeah, to the.
Are we over the COVID yet? Is it?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Fraser. Sorry, Fraser. I didn't mean to leave you hanging there. I was checking our comments over here.
Yeah, it was
So.
nice to see you. Thank you for partaking.
Yeah. So real quick, Christopher Michael Hammer, I think you've been a big supporter of us. I just wanted to give you a big shout out. Who says you keep the location open. So Master Marquette is not making us move. Well, our deal was originally only until the end of February, and they were gracious enough to let us extend that into March. Then COVID hit, and now the summer months, the summer tenants are going to move in. So they've been nothing but accommodating and gracious. I cannot say anything bad about them. I would never say anything bad about them. They've been really awesome in encouraging podcasts. So I just want to put that out there. And number two, I want to thank you for your support, though. Don't worry, we got our pretty baller penthouse up in Eatontown, which I would love for you to come up and tell your story or just podcast with us. Because I see you tuning in a lot, and I think that's amazing. So I wanted to thank you for that. But now we got Elle here. I'm going to move the camera so it's kind of on us. I want to hear your story, man. You got good stuff going on here. But,
Thanks. Ming you've been a constant support. It's been kind of wild to be back in the United States. I was in Timor-Leste with the Peace Corps for a few months.
Can we rewind a little bit?
Yeah.
So I saw, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, and you were here, and we'd hang out every so often, and then I think you sent me a text, or every time I just check in, like, hey, how's it going? Are you alive?
Ming's the best. You are the best, literally. So when I got back, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Why?
When I got back from, I got evacuated. We'll get into that.
Sure.
But Ming was the first person who sent me a text message. I didn't announce that I was back, but he was the first person who sent me a text message while I was driving my car to get the malaria prescription I needed to get within a week of landing during COVID. And Ming was like, are you okay? Are you wearing a mask? And I'm like, no, I'm not actually. I just am about to walk into a store and I'm not. Thank you. So
I think,
he's been my guardian angel in a sense.
I don't know about that. I think the whole disease hit. And I knew you were out in a third world country with kids and helping kids.
Developing country.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Developing
You can
country.
say whatever you want.
But you're helping out kids and stuff. The disease hit, so I was like, well, surely they would have told you to come back. So I was like, are you back? Are you back? Are you okay? Everything that was. But a year and a half ago, you were like, you sent me a text. You're like, hey, guess what? I'm like, what? And this could have been any number of things. And you're like, hey, I just got.
What could it have been?
I mean, it could have been. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe, I don't. Maybe you're moving.
Okay,
got a job. Or
okay,
it could have been
fine.
more. I don't know what the correct sinister. Maybe not sinister. But I don't know.
All right. Okay.
I don't. You leave an interesting life. It literally could have been anything.
Okay. I'll take
But
it.
you're like, hey, I just got into the Peace Corps. I'm going. I'm going. I was like, holy crap. To me, that's cool. I don't know anyone who's been through the Peace Corps. I don't know anyone who could do it. To be quite honest with you, it's. I guess my impressions are, you go out and you help a developing country, but there are, certain Western comforts that you lose being in a developing country, and I don't know anybody who could live without a lot of these things.
God, and I feel like that is the easiest part to deal with. Once I was over there, I went through extensive training.
Sure.
The first week of training, the last day they were like, oh, by the way, when you go to the bathroom, this is how you have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, wait, I'm getting bathroom training? And then I realized why. And I was like, oh.
And what is the bathroom process?
Oh, do you really? You want me to go
I think it's part of, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're telling the whole truth here, so.
So the bathroom process for most developing countries at this point, you have to use you use the hole that's in the ground because there's not sewage.
Right. So
there's no organized disposal of sewage or garbage.
Right.
Or
so
infrastructure.
Someone's dug a hole.
Right, essentially.
Okay.
And they have a porcelain area for you to squat.
Okay.
But then you have this tank of water next to you and a bucket that
Right.
has a handle on it. And you scoop the bucket, and this is how they explained it to me. You lean over, and you take the bucket of water, and you douse yourself.
Sure.
And that's how you that you get clean.
Okay,
So I was like, yeah, okay. Like that's, I'm like, where are the tissues at, right? Like there's no way that's going to happen overnight. I tried it the first night.
Right.
You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. But I couldn't figure out the logistics of it. It was
It's like using the
complicated.
3 shells from Demolition Man, if you know
Okay.
anything about
No, I
that. But
don't.
yes.
So that was interesting. It took me like a week or 2 to get used to that, and then I was able to get used to it. Eventually, the best strategy is you put your hand in the water.
Okay.
You get the bucket, you put your hand in the water, and you wipe your own ass with
Right.
your fucking hand.
Right.
And then you wash your hands really well, you know. And,
Okay.
and then you move
And
on
this
with
is
your
just
life.
how life is over there.
That's just that is
and
what it
actually
is.
a lot of places. That's
Yeah.
why, yeah.
You don't have toilet paper.
Which is funny because everyone's scrambling for freaking toilet paper 2 months ago. I'm like, you're just laughing at them.
Well, here's the thing. I
You're
thought
laughing
it
at
was a
them.
little strange. I was like, why? The first 3 things that I needed when I got on the ground was toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and soap. And then when I got back to the United States,
Right.
that was the 3 things that were not available to buy. So
Yeah,
I was like,
for
this
sure.
is a karmic coincidence. Like,
Yeah.
how weird is that?
It's very weird. If you're still watching, hello Jen Hampton. I love and miss you, Jen. If you're around, come down here. I will come down here for sure. The reason I'm here is pretty much because of you, for many reasons. So, what?
Hi, Jen. Hi, Jen.
Yeah, what made you want to join the Peace Corps though? It's not I mean, to me, it's not really the same. But it's like if you're like, hey, I just joined the army, like I would have been. It was the same reaction. I'm like, what? But I know you like helping people, so
Yeah, so when I was 22, I decided to go to Southeast Asia. I wanted to go to India and study at an ashram because I'm an avid yogi, as you well know. So I was 22, wanted to go to India. My parents were like, please don't go to India. They're like, you're going to get lost in an ashram. Why don't you go to Australia? We have friends there. They've got a mansion. Go stay. You know, they've got like a tennis courts.
Yeah, well, I guess they wanted you
It's
to be
like,
comfortable.
All right, so I went to Australia and I booked a ticket to India from Australia. I was like, oh, okay, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Also signed up for a program in Nepal to teach English at a monastery as a
crap.
volunteer. So I got my TEFL training while I was in Australia at that really nice house with Kate Burke and Mark Sabati, who were awesome. As you know, was studying at their house, and then went through Thailand to India for 10 days on tour. Then went for a month and taught English. When I got back from that trip, which lasted 6 months, I got home and I was like, I had already wanted to join the Peace Corps, but at that point I was like, this is it. This is what I have to go back.
Was that life changing? You're like, holy crap! I need to help people. And
Yeah, but that was from the time I was like 16. I
Okay.
went to Egypt and I saw a lot of
you
poverty.
saw the world. You saw a lot of stuff that a lot of people
Poverty.
who are 16 don't.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, what do 16-year-olds worry about right now? Like if their TikTok videos are getting any views, that's about it.
I was super lucky to be able to travel. My mom was born in Egypt, and the reason I got to Egypt was on a swimming competition. So going there was the first time my mom had been back to her country of birth, and that changed me.
Sure.
And that's when I started thinking about, all right, I'm going to go to college. Started thinking about the Peace Corps. Went to India, Nepal, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and got back. And I was so like, I don't know what to do with myself. And I was like, I want to join the Peace Corps. But it took me 12 years to restructure my life, restructure my brain, restructure everything.
But that's pretty awesome. Like when I was 22, like I was trying to find issues of the Uncanny X-Men. Like that's what I was doing. And not that isn't important or anything, but it's not, going out and helping kids in a developing country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, but it's just, I think it's a calling, and I also feel like if you see something, like, how they say, if you see something, say something.
Sure.
But it's like, if you see something that changes you, it's very hard, and that's why I'm an avid yogi, because it's hard once you see the truth or the light, or once you see something that enlightens you, to then turn to ignore it anymore.
Sure.
So once you're, it's so hard.
It's not actually. It's not that hard for a lot of people, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think some people see a lot of stuff and they're like, and they keep going.
For whatever reason.
So why now? Why
Like a year ago.
Yeah, why a year ago? why did you decide to do it then?
I took a look at what was going on. Well, there's a couple reasons. I took a look around at what was going on within my life personally, but I also took a look around at what was going on in the world and, politics and
Right. And this was a year ago before. I mean, things are...
a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Things have kind of changed since
Right,
then.
yeah. But I think, our president being elected was a really big turning point for me where I was like, I don't feel like my voice is being heard. I don't know what I can do to help here. And, personally, my life was at not a standstill, but I was like, I'm not getting married and having kids and following that trajectory. My career isn't what I thought I was going to be doing. And it's, when am I going to start? When am I going to start doing what I want to be doing? So I started applying for the Peace Corps, and I was shocked that I got accepted.
How do you even apply for the Peace Corps?
There's a website, peacecorps.gov.
And you literally go out in there, it's like name, address.
Yeah.
What kind of, what's involved in the process?
Peace Corps process is a little challenging. They ask you interview questions, ask you about your personal history, your professional history. Then once you pass the interview process, you go on to the next phase, which, you get accepted, but you get an offer. What's really cool about the process initially is you get to choose whether you want to go to a specific country or if you want to go anywhere. And I put go anywhere, which was really cool.
So they just chose Timor-Leste.
Yes, it's one of the newest Peace Corps stations.
Yeah.
Because they're one of the newest countries in the world. They're probably third to fifth of the newest countries that exist. And I said Southeast Asia would be cool. They sent me there. So once you get an offer, then you have to go through your medical screening and your background screening, which I passed. And I didn't tell anybody until a month before I was going to go. Not even my parents, nobody. I didn't tell anybody. I was just like thinking about it. Am I going to go? Am I going to go? And finally I was like, all right, I'm going. Packed up my house, put it in a storage unit.
You just went. You went for it.
I just went.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I wish I was still there.
We'll talk about that. So we literally have a sign here that says tell us a story. Grab that white mic right over here.
Okay.
And what's your name, my friend?
My name's Kevin Michael Giovanetti.
Kevin Michael Giovanetti.
Yes,
that sounds
sir.
like a superhero name, my friend.
It is a superhero name.
Hang on, I'm gonna move the camera here so everyone can see you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I could, you need help?
okay.
You got it? So we're doing tell us a story.
About
Anything.
I
You
know,
can
it's-
you can
I feel
vent.
like
You can
it's
tell
a
a story.
lot.
You can crack a joke. Literally anything. But yeah. I mean, if you want to warm up, how has your day been so far?
my day's been pretty good. It's a beautiful day out here. This seems like a very good podcast right here on the beach.
Oh yeah. So we have a little studio. We had one down here, but we have one up north in Eatontown as well. Where
Right.
people literally come down and just tell stories and talk about
Okay.
their
Yeah,
passions and stuff that they like.
Well, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little hectic down there right now.
I can imagine.
A lot of protesting, a lot of violence. Like, you would think that because of the pandemic, things would calm down and people would come together, but it's not really working out that way. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
unfortunately not. I thought
Yeah.
I'm like, what's it gonna take for us all to come together? A killer
come
virus?
together?
No, like what, aliens maybe? Like that's the next thing, right?
Yeah,
And,
that might be it. I think the
Yeah, but-
aliens might do it. It has to be somebody
I
that
wish the aliens
both.
would come.
It has to be like some type of a strong force that we all feel like we need to come together
Right.
and oppose instead of opposing each other. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
And the
I'm
only-
an author, as a matter of fact.
What
know what I
have
mean?
you? What do you write? What kind of stuff
I
do you
wrote
write?
2 books. Yeah,
I
wrote,
plugged them up. Yeah. What are they called?
They're called the Workers Chronicles.
Okay.
Part 1, Part 2.
Nice.
Part 3 comes out as soon as the pandemic is over because I normally throw a big event for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people come out and, we eat, we drink, we celebrate.
Yeah.
Because my past wasn't so clean. I made a lot of mistakes and paid for them. And unfortunately got some time. But the difference between me and maybe a lot of other people, I utilized that time and educated myself with things that most people would pay for.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, yep.
And I had those resources to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You took advantage of
Right, I
that.
took advantage of it. You know, a lot of people play poker, they play cards, and they gamble, and
Right.
they fight and do the other things. I'm in the library, you know what I'm saying? I spent most of my time in the library. And, you know,
So
a lot of people are in the library.
What are your books about?
They're about the prison system, but it's about several characters that, you know, the whole concept is
It's a novel.
never underestimate anybody.
Right.
Right. Whether it's an inmate, whether it's a correction officer, whether it's the warden, whether it's anybody. Everybody can be corrupt. Anybody could be tainted. Anybody could be a individual that we all fear.
Sure.
Even an inmate.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Look, so the people that you think are here to protect, or the people are here to make sure everything is going accordingly, those are the people that, you know, they're undercover. They got the masks on. They had the costume on.
I think we're learning that right now more than ever.
More than ever.
More
because
than ever.
You know, I get in depth. I'm very descriptive when it comes to writing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I will take you there, and it's not reality. It's not about me. It's made up stories inside of a county jail, actually in Mercer County in Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not
And,
like a novel.
Right. It's a novel.
That's
and that's
cool.
what it is. I pulled out. I got one.
Do you have it on you?
Yeah.
I hear.
Yes.
I showed her the camera so people can check it out. Where can we get the book?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, okay.
Right. It's on those.
Yeah, totally plug it up, man. Yeah, I'm streaming this live on everywhere, my friend.
Okay.
So people will see this for sure.
Right, that's cool.
Um,
Well, this is part one. It's the
Oh my
Workhouse
god!
Chronicles.
Oh my-
Dude, I'm
the-
so excited for you. I've been
Yeah.
trying to
The
get
Workhouse
like, my
Chronicles,
book, like,
part
oh
one.
my
Listen,
god!
I made about 24,000 in Trenton, New Jersey alone.
Yeah.
On that book. You know, like I said, I threw the big event, and
Oh my god, this is awesome.
when you go with part 3, I'd love to come down, man.
oh yeah. Oh, part
I know it's
three
gonna-
is
yeah.
awesome. Part three is
How far are you in that process for part 3?
part 3 is done.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
Yeah, part 3
Oh,
is
so
done.
you're just waiting for the publishing part
Yeah,
and all
actually,
that.
when I got released from federal prison, I had all 3 done then.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years now.
Right. So did you write these when you were in prison?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Only thing I've wrote since I've been out here, I wrote some scripts.
Okay.
It's supposed to be on television pretty soon.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be a TV series. This. I write plays too, so I love writing, man. I think I'm very good at building characters.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
creating characters. So that's
Do you
one
want
of
an
my
editing project?
Huh?
I'm halfway through my first novel.
Oh yeah, I do editing projects. I definitely edit for people. It enlightened him on these issues, and now to this day, that's what he does. He changes. He that's what he does all day. He finds ways to assist this lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of it's disregarded by a lot of people. A lot of citizens, a lot of people. We walk around here all day. We enjoy life. We forget about the lives that other people live. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that have no homes or no food. Stuff like that. Then you got
or
the guys that's
the millions
incarcerated.
of people that are incarcerated.
Right,
for
the millions of people
not
that's
in a very good
incarcerated.
reason.
For anyone who anybody wants to start writing or is maybe stuck in the process, do you have any advice for them?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you write every day? Do you get up and you write?
Well, I could write in my head.
Yeah.
I walked around the park one day and wrote a whole movie. It depends on, me. I have a passion for it. I can't even explain the word passion.
No, I can't either. But I love passion. I couldn't explain it to you
can't
though.
Explain it,
I
but
could never explain it to you.
It's a powerful thing that you disregard a lot of things when you have a passion.
Right.
It's only maybe one thing that could come before that passion.
So
I'm telling
true.
you.
It's so true.
It's maybe one thing,
Not
and
even one thing.
Yeah, not even that, because
Right.
that might get out the way.
Right.
Because you might need it to get out the way to
I
continue.
love that passion. I love passion. I was like, nothing will stop you.
Nothing.
If you're passionate about something,
Nothing
nothing
will
will
stop
stop you. It's how I feel about this, man.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about podcasting.
Yeah, I can
for
see
sure.
it in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the smile. You know when somebody's passionate about something.
Yeah,
You
and I
love what
love
you're
that we
doing.
can literally do it here, like on the board. It's a beautiful night. I'm like, hey,
Right.
let's set up some microphones, man. Let's get some
Right.
stories, man.
You love
Let's
exactly
talk to
what you're
people.
doing. I love to write. It's like you love to talk and get inside of people and let them get a chance to vent. Because a lot of people don't get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Like myself. I like to seclude myself from a lot of things. So therefore, I don't get a chance to talk and express myself the way
Right.
I want to. And you're giving me an opportunity to do that.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's all we want to do, and it's it's a very simple setup over here, but it's
Right.
it's amazing. So,
Yeah.
right on, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I
Thank you for the
appreciate it
book.
too.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you. Yeah, the Workhouse Chronicles.
Right. Part one, part two. I
part
thought I
one.
had part two on me, but I don't.
No, that's all right. We'll get through that. We'll find you. We'll find you
Okay.
when.
Yeah, I'll leave my email and everything on
Okay,
here.
fantastic. We'll find you for part two.
All right, so who am I signing this stuff?
Sign it.
Ming.
Yeah, like Ming the Merciless, or
Okay.
the Ming Dynasty, Ming. Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
I'm glad you came by. I'm glad you were just coming by tonight.
Yeah.
This is but this is fun. Thank you.
Okay,
The
so
work.
that's M-I,
NG. Yep.
Uh-huh.
The Workhouse Chronicles.
and that's it? This
Yep,
name?
yep.
Okay.
You gonna read this?
Kevin Giovanni. Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna read it too.
And it's gonna go in the library over at the studio, our
Gotcha.
podcast studio for sure. Thank you. And you're a lefty as well, which is cool.
That's
So
amazing. Huh? You get. If anybody that doesn't know, if you write left-handed, if you're left-handed, that's actually a scholarship to whatever college you may qualify for. That's a scholarship.
For real? Why?
Yeah, no doubt.
Why is that?
I don't know. I have no idea, but you can get a scholarship
That's
for
awesome.
being left-handed.
Is it because it has to do with being creative or more artistic or different-minded, design-minded?
I think it's because maybe you don't see too many left-handed people because, every time I sign a book, that's all I hear. You're left-handed. So maybe it's not as normal as we think it is.
I don't know a lot of left-handed people. I know typically
Right.
left-handed people are more artistic.
Right.
So, oh wow, we got fireworks
Yeah.
going on here, man. It almost feels like a normal night for once.
Right.
Right? But I know it's not. But it almost feels I feel like
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah.
a beautiful night.
it is. We're very lucky.
Do you want to tell us the story too?
Yeah, you got a quick story you want to tell?
All right.
Come on over, my friend. It's cool. We're meeting
Oh, yeah, he can tell us
authors.
story. I
Yeah,
have a
he's-
beautiful story right there. That's a big story.
yeah. We're
right
gonna
here,
read your
yes.
story.
I left my story behind.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it.
I
Thank you.
super
We
appreciate
appreciate
All right,
that.
hit me up.
Pass
Oh
it
yeah,
on.
let me put the email.
Oh yeah. Get your contact
My
information on there for
Facebook
sure.
is the same name.
Okay.
stuff like that.
We'll follow that up. What's up, my friend?
Man, do you want me to sing you?
I would love to.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a guitar on you? Absolutely,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Shoot.
I write songs. I'll play a song.
Yeah. Well, all right. We got
Yeah,
we got
you gotta tell
live
us the
music here, my
story
friends.
Through the song, about the song, however
Here you
you want to
go.
do it.
Yeah, we need to hear the story
All right,
behind the
thanks,
song.
Guys.
Thank you,
guys.
Kevin.
Have a good night.
You're the
Thanks,
you're
man.
the man.
You. All right.
Thank you.
Night, thank
We got
you.
a singer coming on board. Let's
Oh
enjoy
yeah.
this.
The stage is yours, my friend. We got a microphone. I'm sorry, I have a mic stand, but it's in the car.
Should
of all
we
places.
set this up for him?
This will work. Actually, if you put the mic
Yeah.
over there, you can grab that. That's yours.
Yep.
Just move the mic over.
All right, we're gonna. I
watch-
don't know where to. I don't want to put this down easily. Read this. Okay.
Or that might work too, actually. Go for it. What's your name, my friend?
I'm Sean Dobson.
Sean Dobson.
And what's your daughter's name?
Shy
Yeah.
Willow.
Shy Willow is over here. Is,
Hi,
behind the
Shy.
camera. Sean Dobson came armed with an acoustic guitar.
I like your
And,
dress. It's so
and
pretty.
original songs.
Fantastic. How is that? Is that mic good?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is
so you
perfect.
going about Spike?
Yeah.
So this is my daughter Willow Water Dobson.
Hello, Willow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful name you have.
Willow Water
Say
Dobson.
thank you. No. What do you need?
You have
I like your amber too. That
a,
helps
you have
you.
a rattle. What is
See, she's a cool little
All
girl.
right, wait a
I
minute.
love this. I didn't know we were gonna get any musicians today, so this
Oh,
is
come-
awesome.
Come on, you're hanging out with me.
I know.
Man, this is Asbury Park, man. I saw 3 musicians on the way in.
This is awesome.
Maybe 4.
What happened? Do you want to sit in my chair?
No, she's got her
Okay.
her maraca.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Okay, of course we got.
perfect.
All right.
All right. So, do you want to tell us what the song is about before?
Well, we have this dog who's a yellow lab in our family, and his name is Spike. And Spike has been kind of passed around and back and forth, and now he's come full circle, and he's back with the family of my cousin and her 2 kids, who now they're 9 and 13.
Yeah, Luke's still.
Yeah, Luke and Lily. And Willow cannot wait to see them tomorrow because look at her jumping up and down in
That's
her
so
rainbow
exciting.
dress.
Are you excited?
Oh, and Grandma and Grandpa.
Are you gonna be there?
Yeah, Grandma and Grandpa
Sean,
Ted.
how do you spell your name? Is it S-H-A-W
S-E-A-N,
and D-O-B-S-O-N?
D-O-B-S-O-N, Sean Dobson Hippie Music on YouTube.
Got it.
Check out Sean Dobson Hippie Music on YouTube or Facebook. Sean Dobson.
All right, Sean, take it away.
All right. Let's see here now. Uncle Buzzy bought him in the year 2012. Was gift for Luke and Lily, cousin's little kid. Nothing like having a puppy run around and play, but the dog was often home alone, so with Uncle Buzzy often stayed. Spike was a good dog, but sometimes a little strange. We sent him to a neurologist, checking out his brain. Just turns out he had Lyme disease, that poor little guy. Sometimes he falls asleep and fall right over, right before your eyes. When Spike was a puppy, his family went to the shore. House had a lot of throw rugs and a slippery little floor. Spike was forever traumatized from sliding all around. To this day, he's afraid of walking on smooth ground. Spike's our family dog, but we really didn't know him. Spike's our family dog and knows where he belongs. That's Spike, our family dog. Spike became a runner, taken to the gorge for a little swim. He could be found down in town looking out for Jim. One day when he was missing Buzzy, he ran 5 miles to his friends. Spike's nose was amazing, took him everywhere. All around in the back of an old pickup truck. Spike's our family dog, but we really didn't own him. Spike's our family dog and knows where he belongs. That's Spike, our family dog. Spike's family split up. His Uncle Buzzy took care of him. And when he traveled and got older, my mother took care of Spike. And I'd walk through the moonlight, watching the shooting stars. Spike was real, taking care of us Spike's still making the rounds. He visits everyone. Whenever we hug, he runs right up and joins in the fun. A lover who loves, that's our boy Spike. Playing keep away with the kids, following them all around. 'Cause he's Spike, our family dog, but we really didn't know him. Spike's our family dog. They know he belongs. That's Spike, our family dog.
Ooh, well done, Sean.
Thanks.
Well
Yeah,
done,
I'm really
my
happy
friend.
with that one. I think a lot of people are going to like that.
Yeah.
That's
that
amazing.
Was a great way to tell a story.
That right?
Use
I-
it
yeah,
like-
that-
Don't
yeah.
you feel like you know a yellow
Yeah.
lab? You know what he does
Yeah.
and how he thinks.
I
you
know Spike's whole story, you know,
Yeah.
which
I feel like I know Spike and the story of Spike the family dog. That was great.
Thank you.
good and bad. Why are you walking around with the guitar today? Have you been performing up and down the boardwalk, or
No, this is
just-
the first chance I've had, and yeah, we came, I haven't had my daughter for 3 months, and I finally
Wow.
got to have her. So, and she loves the shore, so I drove down to the shore, you know, after visiting Grandma and
Yeah.
the gerbils.
you gotta see the gerbils.
Look, the gerbils would be really, what's the word? When you know they would be offended,
I feel
you know,
I feel that way as well.
right?
Yeah.
If what? Wait, I missed it.
No, the gerbils. If you didn't visit the gerbils,
If
they would
you
get really pissed.
Never
They
stopped
would really
in
get
the
offended.
gerbils, you know, they'd be like, "Gee, I thought we were Willow."
What are the gerbils' names?
So we had some.
What are the gerbil
We,
names now that we have?
One of the gerbils is black and white, so we named him Oreo.
Oreo,
And the
okay.
other
Oreo.
one,
Oreo, good name.
Lightning. No,
Yeah.
no, it's
no,
silver.
No, 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 no.
This
Yeah,
is
It's
reminding
silver.
me.
He was really gray and like white, like kind of gray and light, like the lightning. So we named him right. But he's getting
Lightning?
he's getting older, and now he's getting what's it called when animals that get like double fur?
It's sort of like a molting. You know, I'm not sure the name.
It just reminded me when I was like maybe 10 years ago, I brought my cousin from San Francisco down here with his daughter, and there was a fair, and we bought a lizard, a pet lizard, and she named him Philo because that means friend in Greek, and she had him for like 10 years. He just
Wow.
recently died, yeah. But you just reminded me because we have a picture right over there in Asbury Park, sitting together with Philo.
At the hamster
Cool.
or the lizard?
The lizard. And you just reminded me. It was just, I just had a moment.
Yeah.
I told a story. That was my story.
Wow. So 3 months. I'm glad you guys made it back over here. It's a long
we've been
3
coming
months, my
here
friends.
For 3 or 4 years now,
I think so.
and
Where are you from?
she's out in Allentown, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and I'm in Califon, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you happened to wander by at this exact moment.
Come tell us
Me
a
too.
story. No, they just
Have
want
a
to take
story to
pictures.
tell?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Sean,
thank you
Mr.
for coming.
Sean Dobson
Yeah.
and Willow Water. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you know
Willow
Scarlet
Water.
Begonias? Just a shot in the dark.
Not enough to pull
Are we
it
just
off.
throwing out songs? And I was like, can you play classical gas? Like,
You know what? You know what I could play for you? I play.
I want to hear
Broken Arrow.
Bohemian Rhapsody. No, I want to hear Gangsters Paradise.
oh, Coolio,
I wish I could do that. That would be like
That'd be so
really
wild.
hip.
or anything by Neil Young. You want anything by Neil Young?
I love Neil Young.
You love Neil Young?
I do. He's an activist like me. Who do you like? What do you listen to?
Mostly Grateful Dead music.
Grateful Dead. All right.
I've been going to Grateful Dead shows for so long. Like,
Really?
So cool.
Oh my
like,
God, that's so
so
cool.
She was in the womb. Here, you want to hear a great story? This
Yes,
is
I do.
Willow's
Okay.
story.
Okay.
And you correct me if I get it all wrong anywhere, okay? See, when Willow was in the womb, and the Grateful Dead song, The Franklin's Tower, would come on, which is on Blues for Allah
Okay.
album, and she'd say, you know, whenever this song comes on, Willow starts dancing in there. She starts moving around. I said, really? Wow, that's cool. And then Willow was born at home through the water. We had a special birthing tub
Very cool.
in our bedroom, and she was born the day before my birthday.
Oh.
And her mother's birthday is the day after
Oh
mine.
my gosh! 1, 2, 3.
Boom, boom,
You
boom.
guys are soul siblings / soul family. Soul
Still
family.
have no
And
idea
Earth
how
family.
when I was born I could swim.
Because
Right.
you went from a water atmosphere straight into
To
a
another
larger
water, right.
water atmosphere. You were in your mom's water atmosphere, and then you were in the tub, and she's just swimming around in there, looking up and around. I was like, wow. And Crystal wanted to reach down and get her, and I go, no, 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 no. Just give her a few seconds, will you?
Oh,
So-
so you were free for a whole 3 seconds
Yeah,
before you
and
came
now
to
you're
Earth.
like you're right next to like the one of the biggest bodies of water in
Right,
the world.
so she's totally, she would likely be, what do you think, an oceanographer or something
Oh,
that
yeah,
has
for
to
sure.
do with sea creatures.
Tell us the story.
So what happened was when Willow was just 6 months old and she got to her first Dead concert, we were selling tie-dyes outside the festival.
Yeah.
Okay, and we go in, and when we finally got in,
Do you like my
what
bleach
song
tie?
does Willow hear? That's nice. What song does Willow
Walk
hear
around.
but Franklin's Tower?
Hi, that's your song.
And that's her song. And whenever she would go to different places, she would hear. Right, I took her to Dark Star Orchestra. There it was. They played. So usually we get to hear one, and it's a little
I
special.
feel like
That's
you
your
might
song,
be
my
a
friend.
note in that, like in the symphony of that piece of music. Like you are part of that music. What do you
For
think?
sure.
Yeah.
Another time, forgotten space. Your eyes look from your mother's face. Wildflower seed in the sand and the wind. May the fall wind blow you safe to home. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. You better roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Tell you where the four winds dwell. Franklin's Tower, there hangs a bell. It can ring the night to day. Ring like fire when you lose your way. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Some come to laugh, they're passed away. Some come to make it just one more day. Whichever way your pleasure tends. If you play nice, you're gonna harvest the wind. Yeah, roll away the dew. There you go.
So what's that song about?
Yeah, any idea?
I don't know.
I barely have an idea.
It's a pretty song.
It is. What do you think it's about?
Roll away. I couldn't get all the lyrics.
Well, roll away the dew is what they're saying.
Okay. And
So-
then what's the next? What are some other lyrics?
It's about a tower. It's about a tower, and it's got a bell, and it's some type of powerful, energetic tower
Okay.
of some sort.
Right.
You know, and there have been many of these towers, I think, throughout history. And but Franklin's Tower, you know, where the four winds dwell, you know, which says the energies, the four energies of
Right.
the earth are being called.
Earth, wind, fire.
Yeah, water, north, south, east, west, above
Right.
and below, the inner, the outer.
The four elements.
Right.
Right.
The oil elements.
So it's definitely a shaman song in that degree. You need some water?
No, I'm just.
Oh, water. Right. So it's definitely an energy. You know, it's a powerful energy
Yeah,
song.
for sure.
Saying,
Yeah.
something about calling maybe those four corners, and because it says how you ring that bell, ring like fire when you lose your way, and it's something. It seems to be something mystical that it's got some power there. That's groovy.
Thanks for playing.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I would pick up and play something, but I don't know what to play. Maybe
Why don't you got to put in the
put in the case.
Humidifier.
Yeah, the case.
See, I'm taking care of this guitar. This is my new guitar.
It's
and I'm traditionally.
It's beauty. It's beautiful.
It is very pretty.
Can bring it. No, would you hand it to me for a second, please? Willow.
One day that'll all be yours, but not today.
Willow, can I see the guitar for a minute, hon?
Yeah, I'm
just hand it to me,
I was
please.
about to put it away.
I don't want you to. I want you to hand it to me, please. Thank
There
you.
you go. There you go.
Lord,
Want to come and tell a story? Come on, I'm leaving.
How are
Come
you?
and tell a story.
Hey guys, how are you?
I must make amends. I work hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? I'm dialing for dollars, it's trying to find me. I wait for delivery each day until 3. So Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. I work hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Thank you so much for playing for us.
Janis Joplin lives, everybody. I have a sticker. Why don't I have any cards on me? Oh wait, I do have a card actually.
Here, baby girl.
Maybe it's on the call. Yeah.
How are you? Come and have a seat.
I'm Maureen.
Hi, Maureen. I'm Elle. I
us.
wish
Yeah. Elbow to you.
Elbow bumps.
Elbow.
Yeah, Maureen, grab a mic.
You can also just.
Hello, Maureen. How are you?
I'm out of breath.
How are you?
Pretty good. Working on the show for tomorrow.
You've been
Asbury
busy.
Radio
You've been
podcast.
busy.
Yeah.
I think I caught some of your stuff. You've been busy, my friend.
Did you really?
Yes. How's
Yeah.
it been going so far?
Well, we covered the rally,
I saw
and
that.
and it went so great. And
Peaceful for the most part.
absolutely, and so informative. Such great ideas that you gave out to how to make your life better.
Yeah, for
how,
sure.
Find you
how
online.
minorities can make themselves known, and in ways that are productive.
It was moving. I watched some live streaming. I think the Asbury Park Press and there were a couple people live streaming during the during the protest.
Well, we're
And,
going to have some of those people on the show tomorrow.
Fantastic!
Yeah, to talk about what went right, when what they would have done differently, maybe, but certainly, it went really well.
I was very. I don't want to use the word like everyone's like, oh, I was so proud of the city. I was like, the city was, I guess they were proud that nothing got broken or set on fire or anything for the,
I got there at 5:10.
Yeah.
I started at 5 o'clock. I didn't see anybody from the city, but there were, really thick crowds.
Yeah, I wanted to
Because
come. I wanted to come down. I had a podcast I had to record at 7 and 8,
Oh, you did,
and
yeah.
I was like, well, I can't just go for 2 hours because it didn't really get started until about 7 o'clock, anyways, right? About
Well, no, it was kind of back to back.
yeah.
Really
Okay.
good speakers, really good stuff.
Yeah,
the content
speakers,
was
so
worth hearing.
People were singing along with each other. It was good. I thought it looked to me it was very unifying for sure.
It was. Lorana Phipps was there
Yeah.
to sing. She did the Bill Holiday Strange Fruit,
Yeah.
which is so sad and
Yeah.
gripping.
Yeah, tell us about the
she
show. Where
was
can we
excellent.
see it?
So it's on the Facebook.
It is,
the Facebook.
Yes, the Facebook.
Yeah.
Maureen Nevins,
I
is that where we
still
follow
type
up?
in the
Yeah.
Okay.
Maureen Nevins, Asbury Radio, the podcast.
Ridiculous.
But it's also AP Radio Voice.
AP Radio Voice. Check it out,
Yeah.
everybody. That's cool. How's your day been today?
You know what we've been doing? We've been switching out, putting air conditioners in and taking the storms off, and
Where is this? Where,
at my house on
Okay. Got
Deer
it.
Lake, Deer
Right.
Lake Court. It's right off of Deer Lake Drive.
in Asbury.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I met Maureen. What, about 2-3 months ago? She was doing a broadcast over here, but there's a lot of controversy, and I was like, "Come here, you don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah,
Start
yeah.
a podcast, start live streaming," and she did. So
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. I had a radio show here from
Cool.
2000 until 2006.
Wow.
2007.
yeah, I was telling her, I was like, "Oh, radio's no fun. You can't say
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Oh
This
my
is
God,
fun.
they had more
This you
restrictions.
can say you can say pretty much whatever you want here.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Which is
It's ironic. You can say whatever you want, but you can't play copyrighted music, or else Facebook will like, nope, they don't want to
yeah.
get sued. Which
Well,
I can
yeah,
understand,
everybody's got to
so.
make their money.
Yeah.
But of course, they say that the
Yeah?
she has a good
Well,
story.
look,
Come
All
back
Come-
on your
yeah.
way back. We want to hear the story.
Well, come tell
We
it.
got to hear the story
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
for sure.
Well, the story about the radio show is a fantastic story.
Yeah, please do tell.
Tell it.
Because we were going along there. I was paying a lot of money for the airtime.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
yours was it was like a political show, or it was about the city
it
as well.
It was
and
public affairs.
Public affairs.
Yeah. So we invite. The reason I did it was because I didn't want the people to lose control over the redevelopment like they did in New Brunswick.
Sure.
The entire Hungarian population had basically had to get shoveled out, in order for the gentrification to take place.
Right.
So, when I moved here, I said, well, I don't want to see that happen here. So I started the show, so I wouldn't, put alarm bells off and all that kind of thing. I started the show as a restore your house because I have an Art Deco house, and a lot of people
Cool.
had Victorians.
Sorry. That's so
and
fun.
they were wondering, like, where do I get another, this doorknob is broken. Where can I get the exact same thing that's supposed to be
Right,
here
a
to be
vintage
authentic?
doorknob, yes.
Yes. And that was around the time that Restored. What the hell was the name of that? Red Bank. Red Bank.
Restoration Hardware.
The Restoration
Yes.
Hardware. That's right. I was trying to get them for an advertiser, of course, which we weren't allowed to say the A word. It had to be a sponsor, a friend. How ridiculous. But-
Influencer.
Yeah, here at the Shit Universe, we don't care. If you want to advertise or sponsor with us, we have many slots open, my friends.
Yeah. So I was able to find out a lot of things about the development, how things were going along, the fact that other developers were not allowed to just do business with the city. They had to go through Asbury Partners, and they would have to qualify as subsequent or subsidized redevelopers.
Some kind of political red tape that you had to.
They had to pay the partners in order to build here with their own property, in order to upgrade their own property and make it fit into the redevelopment. So there was a lot of stuff going on. $20,000 for the infrastructure
Huh.
for every unit, and they had to pay. Whoever developed that property would have to pay the master developer, because they weren't going to develop anything.
Oh man.
They were just the master developers,
sounds like a
Asbury
nightmare.
Partners. So there's all this.
Logistically, red tape nightmare, basically, right?
Well, it was a way that they would claw back a lot of money, from the people
all
who were
about the
trying
money.
to develop. So anyway, we were getting in their stuff, right? In their laundry, basically. We knew what was going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So one day, this fellow comes down now we had our studio in the gas building, which Dan Jacobson used to call the Tri-City Tower, right? You know that on Bangs Avenue?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yep, Dan
And
Jacobson from the Tri-City
From
News.
the Tri-City
from
News,
there.
exactly. And my neighbor, I'm in 3, he's in 10 on the courtyard. So shout out to Dan Jacobson. And so
What's
he
up,
comes,
Dan?
This fellow comes down and he says to the guard, he says, I have to see the station manager. and of course, there's a lot of nice little Haitian men who run that station. So they got very upset. Who is this? What does he want? He said, "I'm a cable guy," right? So he had to access.
That's how he got in.
He
Through
had
a little.
to access. It turned out when the manager showed up, he said, "Well, I'm actually an engineer for the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission." Hello, and he happened to be driving by. And noticed that we were beyond our signal.
Wow, that's deceptive.
Yeah.
This happened in a movie, 1990. It's called Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater.
Is that right?
Something very similar happened.
What year did that come out?
1990.
1990.
1990.
Is that the book they followed, maybe?
Yeah.
But they shut down the station that
well, they
night.
shut down one pirate radio broadcaster played by Christian Slater.
Oh,
but
okay,
that movie,
pirate. But
that movie inspired all of this.
But we had a 100 watt license. 100 watt.
Yeah.
For the WYGG.
Yeah, but also regular radio also inspired this. I'm like, I want to say whatever I want. I don't want anyone to tell me what I can and can't say.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And the whole point of it was for people to call in and say, "I heard this."
Yep.
And then, invite other people to call in and say, "Well, no, that's not exactly the way it went. It went
Yeah.
like this." I mean, so that the people had a place, a sounding board for these kinds of rumors and stuff, so that they could be a part of the redevelopment, not on the receiving end of it.
Right.
That was
For
the whole
sure.
idea.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot more fun. That's live streaming podcasting. It's great.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, definitely. We're having fun with it.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
I think you do it in your living room. I think.
Yeah,
And it's just very comfortable.
We're experimenting today to see how the roof is going to work.
Oh, yeah,
we have these,
I prefer to
roofs on
podcast outside.
The top of our buildings.
Cool.
Which is really cool.
I prefer to podcast
That's so
outside.
cool.
So what we're gonna do when all the bars open on June 15th around here, the bars are doing outdoor seating. We're definitely podcasting outside, just like we are now.
You are.
Just like we are now.
So,
yeah.
so listening to you last night, and we're looking at each other, and you're talking about being over.
Tell us a story.
Like this
yeah.
is the
Well,
end.
yeah. Well,
And
this
we were very
space.
upset to hear that.
This space was always temporary,
This
so we
one.
were only going to be here until the end of March.
The summer. I mean, the winter rentals.
Yeah. I mean, Mass and Marquette has been very gracious to us, and they're like,
but
hey.
now the big price.
Well, with
rentals
good,
come in,
with
Summer
perfectly justified. A lot more
Sure.
crowd. This is a very desirable
Yep,
space.
yeah.
I'm just a simple man trying to run a simple podcast studio, and the fact that they let me come in here and have beachfront property for a few
Nate, you're
months.
brilliant. You know that. I love
I don't
this
know
simple
about
man.
I don't know
Simple
about
man.
that, but
Are
I
you
have
kidding?
big dreams, and someone once told me not that long ago, you know what? Be bold. Ask.
Be bold. Yes.
Ask. If it seems out of reach, it's not. Just ask. And if they say no, big deal. You haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
If you who know if you want to have beachfront property, ask for it.
That's
And
right.
It might
that's right.
happen. So
I
here,
mean,
yeah.
Frederick Douglass said, nothing happens unless you demand it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I don't know who said this.
I
One of
like
my
it.
favorite quotes is, "If you don't ask, the answer is always no."
Yeah.
So I take that
It's
to
always
everyone
no.
else. And it stinks that we got to leave. And I don't know, whoever's coming in here is probably not going to be as cool as us.
Definitely.
Well,
But
never know. But so where are you going to be?
well, we have our main studios. I'm in Eatontown. Maureen, you're welcome to come up anytime you want. It's in Eatontown. It's a mile north of the Monmouth Mall, so not too far from here. I timed it about 16 minutes from
so
here.
Whereabouts are you going to be there?
That's our main studios up in Eatontown.
Eatontown,
Yep.
but what street though?
It is on the
Wyckoff or-
corner of Main Street and Broad Street. So it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the heart of things up there.
Right.
Although most people drive through. I get Eatontown literally has a very small downtown area.
Uh-huh.
That's where we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely come and
Yeah, we would love to
let
have you
know
up.
how things are going.
Yeah, I love while we were here, you would stop in almost every week whenever you were coming by and say hello. And,
yeah,
and,
not often enough.
Hey,
I
no, you
regret
were
now that
fine.
you're leaving. because
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
but
it was
yeah,
great
come up to
be
Eatontown or
able
we'll
to
come to you. I mean,
drop by.
yeah, I love your message. I love that you've embraced this medium. I love that you say whatever you want to.
Well,
and
we're
get that
talking. We're
message out.
talking tomorrow about what went right, what went wrong, and also some ideas that a famous, what would you call him? He's pastor, And also, doesn't he still teach at Rutgers? No, he never did teach at Rutgers. No. Oh, New Jersey. Yeah. Wow. So Buster DeForest Buster Soares. Yeah. And he's got a 7-point plan for how we can end police brutality and have equality.
Amazing.
So you have to tune in for
I
that. 4 o'clock.
wow. 7 plan. I just want it to end.
Right?
You
Like
know?
this guy actually
Yeah.
did research.
I just want it to end. It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me, but
Yeah. We've had some shows on about inequality in the job hiring here.
yeah.
You know, why aren't more locals, especially on the west side,
Oh, yeah.
getting the construction jobs?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
I know they're hard workers. I know they do a great job. So what's
Yeah.
the stopping point here?
What's
And
going
it's
on?
usually boils down to race and class and the usual, but
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
Well, we don't let it go. You know, we
Oh,
say
yeah.
we cover a lot of the problem, and then we go, okay, now we're going to talk to the authorities and come back.
yeah,
So that's
yeah, for sure.
You know, my nickname is Mad Dog.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mad
because
Dog Maureen or Mad Dog Nevin?
Mad Dog Duffy. That
Mad
was
Dog Duffy.
Yeah, Maureen Nevin Duffy is my byline.
Ah,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, MD.
Don't mess with the Mad Dog, ladies
That's
and gentlemen.
That's it. I get my teeth in it. I don't let go.
Yeah, and tune into her show.
Nice.
There'll be live streaming tomorrow night. So
Yeah, 4.
4 o'clock. Okay.
What's the name of the show and how do you find it?
Yeah, it's Asbury Radio, the voice of the podcast.
Asbury Radio, yep.
The podcast, because that's
Is it
what our
online?
show was.
So
It was
it's on
Asbury
the
Radio.
website?
So it's on Facebook,
Okay.
and I have a website, but it's not live on the website.
Yeah, it's live on Facebook.
It's
Yeah,
live on
I'll
The
share it up
voice of
tomorrow at
But
4
you know,
o'clock.
they juggle everything on Facebook on the page.
It's all
You go back,
algorithms and
it's
stuff.
Not in the right place.
It's all algorithms. So what you need to do is tell, what I tell people is that just share it. You see it, share it up.
Yeah,
Start a watch
share
party.
it up, please,
Yep.
please,
Yeah.
because that's the only way we're going to get the messages out there, and they're so important.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not
and,
about us.
And our friend Jeff Crespi Rocks is watching right now. Do you know Jeff Crespi? He's the foremost rock and roll photographer in, definitely in Monmouth County, definitely
I
our
wish I'd
area
gotten my
here.
hair done.
But to me, I say the world. He's a foremost
It's time.
live performance photographer in the world.
Oh.
So check out Jeff Crespi Rocks for sure.
I will.
Thanks for
Jeff
joining.
Crespi rocks.
Jeff Crespi
okay.
rock.
I definitely. He's
Yeah.
got to come on the show.
Yeah, and we've had him on one of our podcasts for sure. But if you're at any live music event here during the weekend, he is there shooting photos. He's the hardest working man in show business for
Right.
sure. So
Right.
yeah.
Can
Thanks
I
for tuning in.
introduce Bill Bowman? He's my.
Bill's nodding his head.
he's-
Now
he's
he's
my
he's
sound
coming.
man.
Yeah,
Another-
Bill, come on over,
We
Bill.
actually 31 years ago, we covered the same lovely mayor.
Yeah. How you
Yeah.
doing, my friend?
I'm
It's
doing
good
well.
to
How
s-
are you? Nice
It's
to
great
see
to
you.
see you, my friend.
You too.
Yeah.
Too. Sad to see you go though, but
What's the quote? It's better to have loved and lost than
Than
not
never-
have loved at
That's
all.
right.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
pretty much how I feel right now. So
yeah.
yeah.
well, you know,
sure.
you get a poster of the ocean, you put it on the wall in Eatontown.
It's like I'm looking out on there.
Same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now the goal is to actually be here full time. So
Sure.
I'm gonna have to work very hard for that, but I'm willing to work very hard for
Sure.
that. So for sure. Yeah. So it's great to. I love that you guys. It's like, wait a minute, I know them. Like, I know them. Heck, I love it.
Yeah.
But we'll have to
For
take a
sure.
walk at night, especially now the boardwalk's been reopened.
The
and-
dynamic duo.
yeah.
This.
Very cool.
I can't describe this feeling. I don't know if it's the salt air or the breeze or whatever, but you can't get this anywhere else.
No.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
there's
Yeah.
and we talked about this when we first met. There's
Yeah.
a spirit in this town.
There's definitely a spirit in
Right?
this town. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. there
Definitely
really
a
is.
spirit.
We used to say that there's probably a triangle somewhere around here. They pull those-
A vortex.
a vortex.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was
for
talking
sure.
about
Probably
that a lot
in there,
20 years
in
ago.
that building. right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Or that building.
The ghosts of rock stars of long ago,
Sure.
It still blows my mind that like the Doors were here. Or,
Crazy,
yes,
right?
Or,
yes.
I know, of course,
Dude,
Bruce has
you
been
just
here.
daughter's
blew
but-
a
my
big
mind. I didn't
fan
know
of
that.
that.
That's insane.
yeah,
the
I think Zeppelin was here for one performance. Like
Fuck outta here.
there are some pretty heavy hitters
yeah.
that have
Yeah, back in
played
the
in
70s.
this. Played
yeah.
in this. In
And
this.
remember when NBC came here?
No.
That I
That
don't.
was
Why
like
were they here?
2005 or 4? Well, it was because Springsteen was starting his international tour, his global
Yeah.
tour. So he was rehearsing, and of course NBC was here because of the redevelopment, the renewal. Asbury's coming back. That whole.
Asbury's always coming back.
Yeah, right. It reinvents itself all the time. That's why we like it.
Yeah, and
that's probably right.
I laugh. I've worked with Kevin Smith, the filmmaker, for a number of
sure.
years.
Yeah.
His fourth movie, Dogma, it opens on the Asbury Park Boardwalk. So I don't know if you've seen the movie, but in the movie,
Best Kevin
God,
Smith movie in my
God
opinion.
occasionally will come down in human form and play skee ball. That's what God likes to do.
Nice people.
And-
Right over there, yeah.
And where the
I hope they gave him
Alanis
better
Morissette
prizes
plays
than
God
we
in
got.
that movie. Love
That's
it.
funny.
And so the opening shot is on the Asbury Boardwalk. It's not as developed as this one he shot in 1998, but the shot starts right here.
Oh, wow.
Shot is right here, and I thought it was funny that years later that we had a little
That's very
studio over
cool.
here as well. So
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
pretty
So
cool.
there's history.
That is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
cool.
You're trying
Yeah.
to fit into
Dog
very
was
So,
large shoes.
Breaking news from Jeff Crespi: Led Zeppelin decided to play here in Asbury Park instead of going to Woodstock.
How about that?
They decided
That's right.
they
All
wanted
right.
to play.
Remember that
Get
now.
out of
They
town.
won.
That
They,
is so
and they could have
cool.
been at Woodstock. Like, no, we had a commitment to Asbury Park,
No,
play Convention Hall, and
priorities
they
were right.
honored that commitment. And
Wow.
thank you, Jeff. What a great story.
Yeah,
No, but
that's good.
seriously, can you photograph me? I'm being completely serious.
Oh,
Can you-
Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah, we just
I
got
already
come.
asked once.
If you'll catch it, well, now that you're back from the Peace Corps, Elle,
Were you in the Peace Corps?
Yeah,
she
I
was
I
literally a couple months ago,
Really?
and she
Yeah.
got the only reason she's back here is because of the virus.
Ah. So where were you? Where did they send you?
I was in Timor-Leste, which is a new country that used to be part of Indonesia, but suffered a genocide. And a large genocide, years of oppression, and they finally emancipated from Indonesia. So it's just a really incredible country. They've got a really incredible spirit. One of the few countries in the world where the natives run the space. They've waited for eons and lived
Yeah.
through genocides,
Amen.
and the natives have said, no, this is our country, and they've made it through, and it's just such an incredible story. And to be a teacher there and help them to rebuild their future is just like such an honor.
So you were teaching them English then?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's so important.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That was a great rendition of that song.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love
Janice
that song.
Joplin.
Janice, yeah.
I felt like I had to do something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shamelessly
so do you-
self-promote. I'm like, I
Never,
want photographs.
never ever apologize. Never.
Please photograph me.
Never apologize for singing Joplin.
Yeah.
Never
Oh, never.
apologize.
Hell no.
She is the queen of everything.
Did you ever see her duet with Tom Jones?
No.
Oh,
Google
wow.
I'll look it up for sure.
Google it.
I'll look it up for
Let's
sure.
see that.
Blow her mind.
Yeah, I'll look it up for
The
sure.
the two people you least expect to have a duet, and they just tore it up.
Those are the best for
Yeah,
sure.
They just tore it up.
So thank you. We'll tune in at 4 o'clock Eastern
thank
time
you so
tomorrow.
much. Appreciate
And
that.
Thanks.
it's
Nice
just great to
seeing
see
you.
you both for
too.
sure. Thank you guys.
Great to see you. I don't want you to go too far.
I won't.
No.
Well, we're not far. We're in Eatontown, but
16 minutes away.
we're
But you
allowed.
can do some
I'm-
remotes, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything I can to get back to Asbury. It might not be the boardwalk, but we'll be back here for sure.
All
So
right, very good. And you're needing it.
Elena.
this is Elena.
Elena.
You can call me Elle.
Yep, this is
Al,
Ellen.
all right, Maureen.
Lyoga.com.
Yep.
If you need to find me for
She's a
whatever
yoga
reason.
instructor as well. And,
I was.
Yes, I'm missing my yoga.
I know. I think we all are.
Me
yeah,
too.
I think we all
Yeah.
are for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Study
you
the
guys so much. So great to see you.
Thank you.
I love those two. So
She's awesome.
when we were here, they would stop in every so often,
So
be like,
cool.
"Hey, how's it going? Is everything going all right?"
Very
And,
soft-spoken, but with a big message.
When she told me she was doing radio, but they were like censoring her, and the FCC was trying to block her, and they came down.
How weird.
It's not that weird though. This is why I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So.
Private. Keeping it private. Jeff Cross is probably like, why would I photograph you? I don't even know who you are.
I think once things get
Because
back
I
up.
look good naked with a guitar. That's why. And I'm a yoga person. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. You're not kidding, or else you wouldn't have said it. So. I'm sure Jeff would be more than happy to photograph
You know
that.
what? That would be fun.
Yeah, well, you should meet him. He's a cool dude. He's a great photographer. So those would be amazing photos. So yeah. Well, yeah, Jeff, I'll be here
Make it happen,
tomorrow. But we'll set that up. If
You
you're,
can't be on the photo shoot.
I don't want to be there.
All right, okay.
I'll look at the photos after. I don't want to
If
be at
they
the
happen,
shoot.
you know, like we're talking about hypothetical right now.
Yeah. Well, for the next day, we have kind of a studio back here. We don't. Yeah.
I'm
so
sure we can make the guitar cover all the essential parts,
I'm sure we could.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 I'm down. Like, let's,
Okay, Jeff, are you?
Jeff, call to action.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. You should check out Jeff's photos. They're really amazing.
Dude, I bet.
He's amazing. Cause like in one night he'll be up like in Brooklyn and New York, and then he'll swing back down in the Stone Pony, and then go over to the Seine. Like he'll hit like 11 places in one night. He's literally like the hardest working man in show business.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So
has he made it yet?
yeah. Oh yeah. He's made it.
All right. Well, I was gonna say
Well,
I
I
hope you
mean-
make it, but if you made it already, you know.
Yeah. So, anything else you wanted to get off your chest? We've been going for a little while. This is fun though. This is exactly what I wanted. People to come down, start playing guitar, venting, telling stories, authors. We got a book out of it.
Yeah.
And you know, this is kind of what I was hoping to set up like all summer, but you know, of course, at least we got to do it like at the end.
Yeah.
so,
Well, yeah. No, we're kicking off the summer this way.
Yeah. So this is all kind
Taking
of
the show on the road.
this is kind of the brainchild. Me and my friend Joe Bartlett, who used to live here, who ironically lives in Michigan now, where I'm from. We had sat over at the High Voltage Cafe one afternoon, and we were like, "Hey, why don't we just set up guerrilla style on the boardwalk with a board that says "Tell me your story" or "Tell us a story," and podcast with people and live stream, and so we finally today
This is the first time.
we finally did it. And I sent her a photo of the whole setup. She's like, I want royalties. I want my cut. Well, Jill, when we start making money, then I'll be sending you a check for sure. But for now, I think we lost money because we spent money on Bloody Mary and
Whatever.
stuff like that. So, but yeah, you know what, I'm totally gonna. We have one more day here. I'm setting up tomorrow. I'm gonna come down here like 11 o'clock, and just go until people don't want to talk anymore. So.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. I tagged you up on Facebook, and if anyone follows you, what's your Instagram again?
L, like the magazine.
Right.
ELLE.
Okay.
Yoga.
Okay.
Love.
Love. L Yoga Love. Follow it up. I like your posts because you like construct them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm an artist, so I try to like
Artist,
keep things
musician,
activist, athlete.
athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yogi,
Writer.
instructor, writer. What other adjectives can we throw in there? You're just a badass, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So are you. That's why we're friends.
I think so. I think it happened that way. So.
Yeah, we're superheroes.
Yeah, that's why I think whenever you vent to me, I just kind of laugh. I was like, because I don't worry about you.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry about
I
it.
do like that. You're just like, get over it. Like, you'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
Yeah. Don't let some idiot boy keep you
I know.
down.
I get so hung up on boys. Man, I need to go after men maybe, or let them go after me. That's what my mom tells me. Let the men go after you, and the rest will take care of itself.
Your mother is wise. Jeff says he's in for any photo shoot. you
Yes!
wanna do. So,
Dude, I need it so
well,
bad right now.
I will connect you two for sure.
Okay,
So
thank
he is brilliant and amazing. I just love it. Like, so you know, you're at a concert, maybe you're over at the Stone Pony. You're watching the show, and all of a sudden you kind of see this dude and his camera just kind of in the middle of it, just grabbing all these incredible shots. That is Jeff Crespi, my friend.
I wish I could be on stage for you to take shots of me, but unfortunately, I don't. I'm not always on a stage.
Well, no one's on the stage right now,
Yeah,
so that's
true.
that kind of stinks. So, anyways,
True.
all right. Well, for anybody who's watching, thank you very much. We're gonna do this again tomorrow, so tune in, tune out, tune back in. I'm gonna be sitting here. We'll have a rotating cast of guests. I think CJ Cullen from Cullen on Film, one of our podcasters, said he would stop down. CJ, if you're watching, shoot, if you're watching now, any of our podcasters, any of our friends, please stop down, come down and sit down for a few minutes, and just enjoy.
We have
enjoy
masks handy.
We have masks
just in case.
for sure, and we have masks. I got a couple drinks back here.
Robinson's is right over there. They have cocktails.
Right. Yeah, but that's not where we got these from, or
No,
is it?
definitely not.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
not.
we don't know.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, support the boardwalk. Though everyone's hurting here, so. Yeah, I think tomorrow what I want to do is grab my phone, tune in. I'm gonna split screen the broadcast, and I want to go and buy something from each person down here. So. From
I bet you
everyone
we could
from,
get Tara's. You know Betty's.
I love Tara
Yeah, we
Elliott.
gotta
Tara
get
Elliott,
Tara.
shout out if you're
Yeah,
if you're out
I
there.
saw you before. Hi, Tara.
Yeah, I saw you
miss
like yeah, you looked like you were busy
Yeah.
placing an order on the phone, but she's been surviving for sure, doing a
especially after the
contactless-
fire last year, and
She
now
had a
this.
fire.
Fucking A, man.
yeah, but she
When does it
I
end?
don't yeah.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, we will see you soon. So yeah, follow L Yoga Love on Instagram.
If you want, no big deal. If you want to talk about the Peace Corps, anybody who is interested in joining the Peace Corps, I met one person who was in the Peace Corps before I joined, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I
that's
only know
helpful
one
enough.
person too, my friend. She's sitting right here. So
Before I joined, knew one person my whole life, so I don't, if someone's like interested and you want to throw them my way, feel
Chill.
free.
Yeah, DM
I
her.
will totally talk their ear off.
DM her for sure. But thanks everybody for watching, and I'm gonna finish this, pack this up, and yeah, we got one more day here, and it's supposed to be perfect.
Am I coming
too.
tomorrow? I guess.
Are you?
I don't know. We'll
You're-
see.
well, you're
Tune
definitely-
in, find
you're-
out.
You're definitely invited. So, all right, we will see you soon. Thank you, everybody.